Hey, Brianna, can you hear me? Can't hear you. Hi, Brianna. You there? Okay, I got a terrible echo. I'm going to restart. Well, what to do? You still there, Brianna? Okay. I'm going to hang up, Brianna. I'm going to call you back in a minute, okay? Hey, Dalton, come here. See if you can ease your way up there and set this up there next in front of your camera. See if it's, I don't care which way it's pointed, but you need to watch power cord and that, okay? Yeah. As close as you can get to the window. That's fine. Do what? Stretch it out there. And is there something we can put by it to hold it? Here, Dalton. And kinks out of the cord. We're trying to get set up here. Make sure we got good Wi-Fi for you, so pardon us discussing things here as we get set. Wanted to get it on early enough where everybody could get to viewing. Having a little trouble getting enough internet service to keep it running, but we'll give it a shot here again.
Test 1, 2, 3.
All right, Brandy, you there? Stan, check 1, 2, 3. Are you there, Brianna? Hello. Barely. And I got a bad echo again. Check 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's not near as bad, but I can barely hear you. Keith, go ahead. You got to check.
Hello, check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Got us both? All right, now I can hear you pretty good. We are about 15 minutes to game time, so whenever you want to put us on. Keith, Farmers Bank is our sponsor to the live stream. For everybody listening online, make sure you thank Farmers Bank for bringing you the live stream. Because how long, Brianna? Just go ahead and make sure you play the intro before we go on. And we still got a pretty bad echo. Pretty good trip. Where are we at now, Brianna? What's that? Can you hear us okay? Because we can't hear you very good. Okay, we still got a bad echo for some reason. We're packed in this booth like sardines, folks. It is the only warm spot, apparently.
I encourage you to tell your friends to watch the live stream because we're going to have a tough time calling the game from where we're at.
I hope everybody sits down. We got cameraman in front of us, and it is going to be hard to see. All right, 3 minutes of that song. All right. For everybody listening on the live stream, St. Paul's up at Hanover. It is about 22 degrees up here. The wind blowing out of the north about 25 miles an hour, and it is cold. Yeah. They have worked hard on the field. They swept the snow off of it, and we still got a terrible echo. And we are live on the internet on the live stream. How long, Brianna?
I got a breakdown of Hanover's last game if you want to do that.
On the pregame, you just I'll kick it back to you and you can talk all you want.
Okay. Well,
I'm
just going to read word.
How about ours? You got ours too?
Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Did you happen to ask what time the national anthem was?
No, I didn't. I'll ask you real quick.
Sir,
when do you normally do the national anthem first or after the announcements?
7:30.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Dan Bitt alongside Keith Smith up at Hanover, Kansas. Long road trip for the Indians today. About a 4.5-hour road trip up here, and it did not get any warmer as we headed north. It's about 22 degrees. The wind blowing out of the north about 20, 25 mile an hour. Definitely going to be an advantage as the field lays north and south on this field, and it's wide open to the north, so the wind will definitely in quarters, and there will be a lot of strategy on which goal you defend to start this game, whether you go into the wind or against the wind. It is surrounded by a chat track, and they let people drive around, so there's not hardly anybody in the stands yet. Everybody's still in their vehicles trying to stay warm, as it is a cold son of a gun up here, and I know it's cold at home too, but it's probably 10 degrees colder up here, so it's a good night for football, Keith.
That's right. I'll tell you what, I appreciate Mike letting me set in on this game, tell you the truth. No, this is going to be a fun game tonight. St. Paul, last year, you're coming in, looks like the odds are stacked against us, but it looked that way last year against Burlingame, against Osborne, and St. Paul toughed up in that second quarter, the fourth quarter last year. Last week, St. Paul defeated Center Lost Springs 80-50. Adam Albertini rushed for 335 yards and 9 touchdowns as the Indians outscored Center 80-50. St. Paul will making this long road trip to top-ranked Hanover. Well, might be Hangover by the time we're done, but Hanover, and again, not to tout Adam Albertini that much, but boy, he rushed for 2,149 yards on the season with 53 touchdowns, Dan. I'm hoping that magic parlays tonight.
Yeah, and that's rushing on the ground. I think total touchdowns, he's bumping on 60 touchdowns for the season, special teams and everything. So I'm sure by now it's no secret what Albertina can do. Hanover's had all the game film they want. Coach Watrick's had all the game film on Hanover too. About 10 years ago in 08, St. Paul made this long track up here about the same time in the playoffs to play Hanover. Didn't work out very good for the Indians. Hanover's at that time, if you remember, Brunas and Junemans on the team, and guess what? There's another 4 Brunamans and 3 Junemans on the team here tonight. So the same names, it won't be hard to call. There's a 6'1", 250-pound senior, which is a Bruneman. Been told by the AD and the coach, I was talking to him earlier this week, family of 10, 8 of which with boys, and he's the youngest, Keith.
We need some of that in St. Paul. We need to steal some water out of the water tower here, Dan, or something. I don't know what's going on.
Ross Albertini jokingly told me, Keith, he wondered why they didn't raise musicians instead of football players. But they're quite possibly musicians, too, in a small town, which is great. They have 25 kids on the roster. Hanover was they're back-to-back defending state champions in Division II, trying to make a track back towards that again. They played in the finals against South Grand basketball last year, Keith. I remember the St. Paul girls was out there and saw Hanover. They was very good, got beat in the finals, but irregardless, St. Paul had a great season. The only lone loss this year is against Sedan to start that season. St. Paul kind of ran out of gas in that fourth quarter. We very easily could have 2 10-0 teams coming into tonight, so we'll see if the Indians can keep Hanover locked down here tonight on this kind of cold, it is a cold, blustery night here in Hanover.
Yeah, last week Hanover defeated Frankfort, a really good team. And actually, Frankfort came out and stood toe-to-toe with them about the first quarter, but they defeated Frankfort for a second time in 3 weeks. The host Wildcats led 34-14 at halftime, and then they exploded for 38 points in third quarter to lead 72-30 heading into the final quarter. Carter Bruner rushed for 183 yards, and they sure put on a nice show last week as they beat Frankfurt.
Sorry about that. Keith's going to butt in here because they're going to do a Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're with St. Paul football on Hot 105. Good job, young lady. Oh. Welcome back to Hanover, Kansas. Dan Vitt alongside Keith Smith. Thank you for joining us for our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show. We are packed in this booth like sardines up here, Keith. That's good small town football for you right here. They are in here elbow to elbow, 3 radio stations. We're live streaming, and the announcers, they've been very cordial up here trying to make room for everybody. It's just a great, great atmosphere.
That's right, Dan. I'll tell you, there's a lot of interest in this game. Of course, St. Paul coming in, like you said, 9-1. We don't have the roster numbers that Hanover has, but by the same token, I think we got the quality in the numbers. I know Hanover does too. And this will be a very interesting game. As I said earlier when we was talking about the game coming in, you know, this looks on paper to be a pretty tough game for St. Paul, and it's going to be. But, you know, last year Osborne and Burlingame looked pretty tough for St. Paul as well, Dan. So there's that to hope for, you know.
You never tell till you tee the ball up and kick it off. It's all about matchups in 8-man football. Could this be a good matchup for St. Paul or a bad one? We will see here in just a little bit as things get started. I know for a fact that St. Paul's come off of three nice wins, starting with Southern Coffee County. Southern Coffee County, a very big and physical team. I thought the Indians would have their hands full with them. They took that game pretty good last week against Center. That looked like the Indians was going to run away with it in the first half. In the third quarter, Center came back. Their athleticism started to show, started to score some points, and then it was a shootout from there where St. Paul just maintained that 30-point lead till the final of the game. I know Hanover comes from a district. St. Paul's won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half. Hanover will start, and they will go into that stiff north wind, and they will have the ball first. Hanover comes up from a district with Axtell and Frankfort, Keith. That's familiar teams to St. Paul, believe it or not. Not very far from here in Hanover, but St. Paul has played both of them teams, not this year, but the 2 years previous to this, last year and the year before, where we have played Axtell and Frankfort.
You know, we've talked about how tough the Lyon County League is up with Madison and Waverly, Lebo. Well, this Twin Valley League up here is really tough. I tell you what, they seem to always put somebody deep into the playoffs, if not win it every year. Of course, Hanover coming in with the last 2 state titles and a 30-plus game winning streak. So this Twin Valley League is really tough up here. And
a very, very tough league up here. St. Paul comes in 9-1. We are at Hanover tonight. That's the top of the bracket. They are 10-0. Right below us in the bracket on the east is Waverly at 9-1. They are at Axtell tonight. Osborne on the bottom side, the west. Kiowa South Barber. Osborne comes in 9-1. South Barber goes to Osborne and plays, and Ditchton and Otis Bison on the bottom half of that west bracket. Ditchton at 8-2. They will host Otis Bison. I think one of those games are tomorrow at 2:30. I'm not sure which one it is, but most of these games are played tonight on Friday night, and we're getting set for the kickoff. I want to thank everybody for listening to the Richie's Pharmacy pregame show as we get set for the kickoff here. So we're going to have to stand up and bear with us because we got a lot of people in front of us. So if you're watching the live stream, we'll try to keep up with the audio as we get used to the numbers. Keith, can you catch the number back deep for Hanover? It's number 21.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Juneman, Colin Juneman is back deep as Ivan Murillo has the ball teed up. Last week, Coach Watrick elected to do a lot of squib kicks down the middle, trying to stay away from that speed of Center. We'll see what Murillo does with a stiff north wind at his back. He's going to kick it deep to Juneman. It's going to bounce at, and he takes it about the 5 up to the 10, 15 to the 20. All the markers are knocked down, so it's really hard to tell where they're at. And he's across the 25 to about the 27, I believe. And it is going to be extraordinarily hard for us to tell where the ball's at. Snow on the ground, and the markers are all laying flat because of the wind. The only thing standing up is one of the goal line markers and a 20-yard line marker.
That was Wilson Smith on the tackle for the Indians on the kickoff team.
1st and 10 for Hanover. They split one to the left and one in the right. Up under center is Stahlbaumer, and it's a handoff off right guard. And he's going to be bottled up, and he's going to lean forward for a good gain. After he's bottled up, he's going to be a gain of about 5. That is big Carter Bruna, the 210-pound senior for Hanover. It's going to get a gain of 4 yards. 2nd down and 3. He's across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, they've got some big kids up front, 250 pounds, 2 linemen, Prawley, and I think Nagali is the other lineman as well.
Hanover starts with the football going into that north wind. One receiver wide to the right. In the pistol this time is Stollenbaumer. Good snap. It's going to be a handoff to Bruno off the left side, looking for some room. He leans forward, and he's going to have a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. He's going to be about 3 yards short of a first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
And that's nice to see St. Paul clogging up that inside line like that. They just got to watch out for that outside run on that option play. He can pull that back out of the belly and scoot to the outside. 3rd
down and 3. The ball's spotted at the 35-yard line. They need to get to about the 38 for a first down. Going to have to watch for that option coming out of that. In the pistol again, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bruner set next to Stahlbaumer. Here comes the snap. It's going to be option to the left. Quarterback's going to keep it. It's going to have first down and more. Stahlbaumer across the 40 down to the 35-yard line of the Indians. Good for a Hanover first down.
Keaton Kennedy and looked like Chase Bradshaw possibly in on a tackle for the Indians, but not until they got into the secondary of the Indians.
10:37 left to go in the first down for Hanover on the opening drive of the ball game, down to the Indian 36-yard line. Hanover, St. Paul won the toss, deferred to the second half. Hanover has the football going into that win. One receiver wide to the left, up under center, Stahlbaumer. Bruner is a lone goal setback. Hand off to Bruner right side, and he's going to be chopped down after a short gain on the play.
St. Paul's interior line doing a good job on those offensive linemen. Of course, it's cold and takes a little bit to get up off the jump on that, but they're doing a good job clogging that up on the interior line.
You sure wouldn't want your fingers to get stepped on a day like today, would you, Keith? Gain of a 2, second down and 8. The ball across the 35 down to the 34 of the Indians. Up under center, Stahlbaumer. Carter Bruner is behind him. One receiver wide to the right. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. It's a handoff to Bruner again. Nope, he's going to keep it around the right side on the option, and he's out of bounds, close to a first down. Stahlbaumer, there's that option for you, trying to stop the 210-pound fullback. He pulled it out of his belly, has a first down around the outside to the right side, running away from us. It was hard to see who had the football.
I think that was Stahlbaumer, kept the ball and got around the outside, assuming he got the snap.
First and 10, ball down to the Indian 25-yard line. Hanover driving the football against the Indians on their opening drive. One receiver wide to the right. Stahlbaumer up under center. Bruna set behind him. He's going to be hand off to Bruno off the left side. Big fullback just leaning forward. Nothing fancy about this, Keith.
Yeah, Easton Den on the tackle, along with looked like probably Colin Carlson on tackle as well for the Indians.
Second down, let's call it 6. A gain of about 4.5 yards. Second down and 6 for Hanover. Ball down to the 20-yard line of the Indians, just shy of the 20. So Hanover driving the football on the opening drive. One receiver wide to the right. Stahlbaumer up under center. Bruner behind him. Here comes the snap. It's a good snap. Bruner off the left side. Nope, Stahlbaumer's going to keep it off the left side. Missed tackle. Now Adam Albertini comes up, and Keaton Kennedy. It's going to be very little gain on the play.
That was a very good job by Keaton Kennedy on contain there. He could have easily been sucked into the middle on that fake handoff to Stahlbaumer, but no, he kept the outside contained. He didn't get to tackle, but he held him up long enough for Adam Albertini to get up there and finish him off. Third
down and 3, 4-down territory for Hanover. Inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. One receiver wide to the right. Up under center is Stahlbaumer. Right behind him is Bruna. It's going to be Bruna off the left side. Hit initially. Now it breaks a couple tackles. Towards the end zone he goes, and Bruna is into the end zone for a Hanover touchdown.
They go for about a 17-yard touchdown run by Bruna. St. Paul had their opportunity there, but they just couldn't get him down.
Bruna was slowed up the line of scrimmage, kept him big legs moving, and got into the end zone. So an opening drive touchdown by Hanover gives them a 6-0 lead here, pending an extra point over the Indians. Stahlbaumer up under center. Bruno right behind him, just a regular set. A slot back to the right. Here comes the snap. It's going to be a inside handoff on the end around. It hit and into the end zone. Keaton Kennedy come up to make the hit, but could not get number 8 down. And that is Swartz on the slot back end around. And Hanover takes a 8-0 lead here with 8:25 left to go here in the first on a cold, cold night here in Hanover, Kansas. The field looks, I don't want to call it a slow, methodical drive, Keith, but it looked like everybody was playing with a little bit of mud on their shoes on that field out there with a hard, icy snow, compact snow. They did a pretty good job trying to get the snow off the field. They said they had a grasshopper mower with a sweeper on the front all day today, trying to get the snow off the field up here at Hanover after receiving what looked to be like 2 or 3 inches of snow, but has not been warm enough at all since last night or today to melt anything off, and it's really not warm enough to do anything now. St. Paul will see if they can answer this opening Hanover drive. Hanover leads 8-0.
Very important for St. Paul to get the ball, just to march it down methodically down the field, answer, get in the end zone, and just stay toe-to-toe with Hanover during this first half, first quarter.
Number 34 set to kick the ball off. Pete Peters for Hanover. back deep, standing at his 3-yard line is Adam Albertini. Peters is kicking into the wind, but Albertini now moves back up to about the 6-yard line. Hanover leads the Indians 8-0. Indians look to take the opening drive. Albertini has to come up. It bounces about the 13. He picks it up, starts up the middle, now to the right, gets away from a couple. He's going to be tacked up. Almost a late hit. Albertini up to the 26-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 26-yard line. First and 10 from the Indians from their own 26-yard line. See what the Indians can do on the opening drive. This field is liable to slow Albertini down. 2,100 yards on the season, 60 touchdowns on the season. I heard last week he's close to the most touchdowns in the state of Kansas. Tight set for the Indians. Albertini in the pistol. Looks like the bruiser set. Now Dent goes in motion to the right. Albertini's going to keep it. Now they'll blow it dead.
You can call false start or motion on St. Paul on that.
Dent went in motion to the right. It is a false start, so not a good start for the Indians. I don't think Hanover has no coach up here, Keith. That looked like it. Maybe it was going to be a shovel pass to Carlson on the inside. So that backs the Indians up 1st and 15, now back at their own 21-yard line. Albertini, same set. In the pistol, he stands at his 15. Make sure to get good snaps. That leather football's got to be cold. Albertini's just going to keep it around the left side. Cuts back to the middle, and he's going to be bottled up, but he's going to gain about 3 or 4 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 13. Ball up to the 24-yard line. Indians are going to ill afford to have very many penalties tonight against this very good Hanover team. They can't make down and distance any further than it needs to be. 2nd down and 13. Ball at the 24-yard line. I formation. Carlson at fullback. Kennedy at tailback. Albertini up under center. Here comes the snap. Blitz coming. Albertini keeps it. Pitches it to Kennedy. Ball's loose on the ground. It's still loose, and it goes out of bounds. I think Hanover gets it.
Yep, Hanover recover. Kennedy just never got the ball on the pitch.
That looks to be disastrous to start with. Adam Albertini coming to his right, pitch that football a lot late. Kennedy never could get the handle on it, and it's going to be Hanover football, so the first drive for the Indians couldn't start any worse for the Indians. 1st and 10 for Hanover at the Indian 25-yard line. So about the worst start you could possibly ask for by the Indians here as they turn the football over at the 25 on a 2nd and 13 on option around the right-hand side. Stallenbaumer comes in from the sideline with the play for Hanover. They lead 8-0. 7:38 left to go in the first quarter.
And Kennedy looked like he was going to get leveled on that play anyway had he caught that ball, but he still should have caught and got on it.
One receiver to the right, and it's going to be a pass. Stallenbaumer throws back to the left, and it's complete. And into the end zone goes number 21 for a Hanover touchdown. That is Colin Juneman. So they strike quick off that Indian turnover. They fake the pitch to Carter Bruner around the right, and Juneman comes from the right to the left, and he was wide open. Adam Albertini could not chase him down, so they lead now 14-0. 7:31 left to go in the first quarter. Single back set behind Stallenbaumer is Bruner in right behind him. Good snap. Pitch to Bruner this time around the right side. Cuts back, and he's in there for the extra point. So bad start for the Indians. Turnover leads to points. It is 16-0. Indians have dug themselves a very early hole here at Hanover, Kansas. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Oh, welcome back to Hanover, Kansas, where St. Paul's dug an early hole, 16-0. Indians need to have a nice drive here. They trailed Southern Coffee County 16-0 early in that game too. So Indians are very capable of coming back. But again, these conditions, Keith, they're not going to be able to turn the football over against a very good football. Just 8 teams left in the state playing football, Keith, and you know they're all good if they got to this point.
That's right. You don't get to this deep in the playoffs and not have a good program going to take advantage of a turnover.
Peters set to kick the ball up. Albertini stands about his 9-yard line, has his arms folded, trying to keep his hands warm. The cold is a problem. First cold night of the season, as now they have to have a holder hold the football. Bruna is holding it for Peters as they kick into this north wind. It's a high kick taken by Carlson, the up back. He starts and he's tackled immediately, but he's going to have nice field position for the Indians at the 32-yard line, their own 32, as that football is high in the air. Indians are really going to have to secure them high kickoffs. It lets that kicking team get down there quick. First and 10 for the Indians from their own 32-yard line. 16-0 is Hanover's lead, with 7:27 left to go in the first quarter. Hanover is big and physical. There's no little guys out there on the field for Hanover. Adam Albertini in the pistol. Set to his right is Keaton Kennedy. Albertini's going to keep it. Looks for room up the middle. Cuts back to the right. Spins away. He's going to have a 5-yard gain on first down. Good carry. Albertini being very patient. Following his lead blocker, started to the left, came back to the right. We're going to give him a gain of 5. It's going to be second down and 5.
With 3 plays, that's 7 yards out of Albertini, and we're already into the 7-minute mark of the first quarter, while the Hanover Wildcats have got almost a dozen plays going so far.
St. Paul turned the football over on their second play on offense after a 5-yard illegal procedure penalty. And the pistol again is Albertini. Slot to the right is Carlson. Set to Albertini's right is Kennedy. Here's a snap. He bobbles it, hands it to Kennedy. Kennedy off the left side is going to have a short gain of the play, maybe a gain of 1. It's going to be third down and 4. Indians really need to try to get a first down here and extend this drive. It is third down and 4 for the Indians on this cold, blustery night here in Hanover. So far, holding on to the football has been an issue. Albertini bobbled that snap. 2 receivers wide to the left is Kennedy and Haney. Slot to the left is Carlson. Albertini in the pistol on this big third down and 4. He's going to keep it rolled to his left. Now he's going to keep it up the middle. He goes. Has a first down and more across the 40 down to the 33-yard line. So good hard run by Adam Albertini. Gains the first down for the Indians down to the Hanover 32-yard line. There was the elusiveness and speed of Albertini getting that first down.
And the line put together a pretty good hole for him, and he was able to pick that up and see that and get through it.
First and 10 for the Indians down to the Hanover 32-yard line. Under 6 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Nothing fancy. Both teams keeping it on the ground so far. Just one pass in the game, and it was a touchdown for Hanover. In the pistol is Albertini, one receiver to the left. Albertini's going to roll to his left again. He's going to throw it, lofts it up, and it's out of the Haney's outstretched hands. It looked to be that Haney was possibly open on the play on the far side of the football field, but it falls harmlessly to the ground. It'll be second down and 10 for the Indians at the Hanover 32-yard line. Looked to be about the same play as last time. Last time Albertini ran up the middle, saw a hole, and garnered enough for a first down. Second down and 10 for the Indians from the 33.
You got to make those pass plays count against this team. You really need some positive yards on that first down, really.
Bunch set, slot to the left is Carlson. Albertini in the pistol. Kennedy to his right. Option, Albertini's going to keep it around the right-hand side. And he cuts back towards the sideline. Looks to be like he's going to cut to the middle. He stayed on the sideline. He's going to have a gain on the play down to the Hanover 35 or 6-yard line. It is going to be third down and 3, 25-yard line. It's hard to see any yard marker on the field with the snow. It's hard to see any line or hash mark or anything, as you can see on the live stream.
I don't know why they don't have the down markers up. I guess they just got knocked over by the players or something.
Third down and 3 for the Indians. Another big third down play. Probably 2-down territory for the Indians. Not probably, it is. Pistol formation. Albertini's going to keep it around the left side. Tries to cut back towards the middle. And he's still running hard. Good hard run by Albertini. Has enough for an Indian first down inside the 20. Down to the 19-yard line. This field is hard to get any traction on for anybody. Low center of gravity and great feet ought to benefit Albertini here, Keith.
Yeah, he's low and he can see those holes. He's just got a nose. He's got a nose for running. I mean, he can see what he can get away with. He knows his speed. He knows he can juke on and what he can't.
My gosh, Keith, you're going to have to go over that nose guard and defensive end for Hanover. Both defensive end, they are huge, as you can see on the live stream. In the pistol again is Albertini. Slot to the left is Carlson. He's going to run it to the left side. Cuts back towards the middle. Now the outside's got some running room. And down close to a first down. Good 8-yard gain on first down. Down to the Hanover 10-yard line.
Carter
so the Indians,
tracked him down and tackled him. So
Indians got something going here on their second possession of the game, but they trail 16-0 at some point. The Indians are going to have to try to get on the board and to stop that potent Hanover offense. Second down and 3 for the Indians. Ball at the 11-yard line. Same set. Albertini in the pistol. Set to his right is Kennedy. Slot to the right is Carlson. High snap. He catches it, and he's going to be caught in the backfield and sacked for a loss. As in there quick was number 16 for Hanover, Horst. And that's going to be a loss of about 4 yards. It's going to be third down and 6 for the Indians back at the 15. Nothing going that time for the Indians offense.
Well, the high snap, Adam had to pause and come down and set his feet. By that time, a missed block on the player, and he got in there and tackled.
4 minutes left to go in the first. Indians trail 16-0, but are driving here, but it's a big third down and 6 at the 15. Albertini in the pistol again. Set to his left is Kennedy. Carlson slot left. He's going to roll to his left. Cuts back to the middle. Nowhere to go again for Albertini. He's going to barely get back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like to be a pass-run option. Nobody open. Albertini tried to keep it. Couldn't find any room up the middle. It's going to be a big fourth down and 6 for the Indians at the Hanover 15.
St. Paul stalling here at the 15-yard line. They got again, fourth down with about 6 yards to go. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach calls on this play.
Looks to be like Coach Watcher's going to call timeout, and does for the Indians. So with that timeout, Hanover leads 16-0. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back. After that timeout, Hanover leads 16-0. St. Paul with the timeout, a big fourth down and 6. Man, the Indians had it second down and 3 from about the 11-yard line, and a loss of 4 on a, I don't want to call a sack. It wasn't a sack, but an Albertini run and put them in this position. No gain on third down. Now it's 4th and 6, and the Indians very much need a first down here, if not a touchdown.
I look for them to go wide, try to get out to the far side. Or actually, the near side looks like they're up on the other set of hash marks.
My gosh, it looks to be about 6'3", 250 pounds at nose guard and 2 defensive ends. So Albertini, 2 receivers wide to left. Albertini in the pistol, Carlson to the right. Now motion from left to right is Bradshaw. Albertini's going to keep it around the right side. Looks for some running room, and he's going to be short of the first down to
Carlson
1 yard.
Was out in front of him and didn't pick up any blocks at all. I'm not getting after him, but boy, he picked up that one block. I think
it's official timeout. The Indians are going to be about a yard short of a first down. Albertini looked to have some running room, but good pursuit by Hanover cuts him down short of the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Hanover from their own 10-yard line. They're going to measure just because it appeared to be very much short of the first down. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I thought it was at least a yard short.
Well, it's no closer than you think, Nick.
Maybe the snow's got me thrown off.
Okay,
it's really not a yard. It's about a foot is all it was. It was short of a first down. So
if we'd have got a block downfield, he could have got into that.
Hanover holds the Indians on down. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hanover from their own 10-yard line. Guess I can't trust the snow, and not anybody's fault. You can't see any lines on the field except for snow lines. 1st and 10 for Hanover. Indians are going to have to try to muster up a stop here. Maybe try to muster up a turnover of their own here, Keith. 2 receivers. Nope, 1 to the right for Hanover. Now 2 to the right. Stallenbach in the pistol. Set to his right is Bruna. Here comes a snap. Good snap. Hand off to Bruna, left side. Look for some room. Breaks a couple tackles. and finally hit late and spun down, but he's going to have an 8-9 yard gain on first down.
Colin Carlson on a tackle for the Indians got him low, and looked like Bruner was going to get out of that, but some St. Paul players able to get over and finish the job.
Second down and 3 for Hanover from their own 16-yard line. 2:52 left to go here in the first quarter. 16-0 Hanover lead. Scored their first 2 possessions of the game. Second possession was a short score because the Indians turned the football over at their own 24-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Hanover. Up under center is Stollenbaumer. Carter Bruner is a single set. Hand off to Bruner. Nope, Stollenbacher's going to keep it around the right side. He's got a lot of running room. Cuts back towards the middle, and there he goes. Carlson trying to run him down. Drives for his feet. Good ankle tackle by Carlson. Saves a touchdown. A shoestring tackle at the 23-yard line. There's that option around the right side to perfection.
That's a 42-yard run by Stollenbaumer.
First and 10 for Hanover at the Indian 23-yard line. So just like that, they flip field position on the Indians again. And that is, this strength of Hanover is really giving them a benefit on this bad field. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, or 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Pitch to Bruner around the left side. Tries to cut back. Easton Dent misses a tackle. Bruner just breaking tackles right and left. Indians are going to have to hit low, having a hard time keeping their footing and having a hard time wrapping that big Bruner up. Second down and 3, gain of 7 on first down for Bruner. He has been the work. Him and Stollenbaumer running that option has been the workhorses for Hanover.
Bruner now has 45 yards in this first quarter. Stollenbaumer has 59 yards rushing.
Second down and 3, ball at the Indians 16. 1 receiver to the right. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Up under center, Stollenbaumer. Carter Bruner straight behind him. Stollenbaumer waits for the snap. It's a good snap. He's going to run the option. He's going to keep it. Made a good read, and he breaks 2 tackles, and into the end zone he goes for another Hanover touchdown. He ran the option to the right, read the hole, kept it. Kenny Haney had a shot at him, missed the tackle, and kept his feet churning. Now the Indians trail big here, 22-0 with 1:20 left to go here in the first.
And it took them about 2 minutes to put together that scoring drive on the Indians.
I formation, different look. Stollenbaumer up under center. Here's the snap. It's going to be pitched to the left side. He reels. There's a hold, a terrible hold. No call on Albertini. Somebody had him wrapped up around the neck. He's short, and that is number 21. I'm sorry, couldn't catch the number of the halfback who carried that football. I believe it was number 21. And extra point was no good. That was Colin Juneman on the carry. 1:20 left to go here in the first. 22-0 Indians trail. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Uh-oh. Well, welcome back to Hanover, Kansas. We just lost some lights on this side, Keith, and that could very well be a problem because I heard last week they had some problem with lights up here too. Hanover leads 22-0 over the Indians. I would say trailed, but they don't. With 1:20 left to go in the first, they've scored all 3 of their possessions. Indians mounted a pretty decent drive on their second possession, but stalled out. High kick. Indians need a fair catch, and it bounces. Now it's loose, and it's caught by Hanover.
Hanover got it.
Indians going to have to adjust to that. That was twice in a row that ball went high in the air. Nobody for the Indians really wanted to come up and take it. Somebody waved their hand like they was going to fair catch it, and it bounced in front of them. And now it's Hanover football at the 25-yard line. So they're playing this football going into the wind to their perfection on the kickoff. Now the refs huddle together, and they're going to give Hanover the football, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. When somebody calls for a fair catch, They have to give him room to catch it, but that football bounced well in front. I think it was Keaton Kennedy or Haney, one of them, called for a fair catch, but it bounced 5 yards in front of them. So terrible start for the Indians here. I formation for Hanover. And it's going to be a pass. Stollenbarger across the middle, wide open down there. Touchdown, Hanover. Pass to Pete Peters on the play action. Nobody back there for the Indians, and that's touchdown for Hanover.
Just like that, Dan. It's getting away from St. Paul really quick here.
So with 1:12 left to go in the first quarter, it's 28-0 Hanover. Everything they're doing is right. Anything the Indians doing is wrong so far in this game, and that's what you can't do on a night like tonight. Pinning the extra point, 28-0 over St. Paul. 1:12 left to go here in the first, pinning this extra point. Indians need to keep their heads up, make some adjustments here, and get back into this football game. Single back set is Bruno behind Stollenbarger. He's going to throw it again. Now here's a flag. First flag on Hanover. And it looks to be a false start against Hanover. Dead ball, false start against Hanover. So first penalty of the night on them. It's just one penalty on each team to start this game, and they lead 28-0 over the Indians with 1:12 left to go here in the first. So it'll be an extra point from the Indians' 7-yard line. Stollenbarger up under center. Single back set is Bruna.
St. Paul's able to stop the last extra point drive.
Back to pass to Stollenbarger, looking to his right. Now he's going to scramble to his right. Throws back across the middle. Knocked, and then it's complete. Kenny Haney tips it up in the air, and it comes right down into the Hanover's hand. So there you go. As the Indians can't get a break right, left, or sideways, as Haney was in position, tipped the ball straight up in the air, and number 21, I believe it was 21, again, Colin Juneman in the right place at the right time. Extra point is good, and it's 30-0 with 1:12 left to go in the first. We're going to go ahead and take another short break, a 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Hanover, Kansas. Here's a kickoff, deep kick this time. Kennedy lets it bounce, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And Hanover sees Albertini moves up. Indians made an adjustment. They was pooch kicking that intentionally high, and it worked to their perfection, keeping it away from Albertini. Coach Wattrick made an adjustment, moved Albertini to the up back, and Kennedy back deep, and they kicked it into the end zone. So the Indians are going to have to start 1st and 10 from their own 15. So gets a pretty good leg going into that north wind on a cold night. Kennedy had a chance to catch it at the 5, couldn't get it reeled in, and well, honestly, luckily it bounced into the end zone for a touchback, or otherwise the Indians may have had it down deep. I formation for the Indians. Albertini up in her center. He's going to roll to his left. Now he's going to scramble. Cuts to his right. He's got some running room. Got a lead blocker in front of him. He's Kennedy out of bounds after he gets a first down. It's a good hard run by Albertini across the just shy of the 30-yard line up to the 29-yard line. So 14-yard gain for Albertini on first down, gives the Indians a first down. Albertini rolled to his left looking to pass, ran back to his right, had Kennedy out in front of him for a lead blocker. 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 29.
St. Paul has shown signs of making that work, and then shown signs of just totally self-destructing too.
In the pistol is Albertini. Awaits the snap. Good snap. He's going to keep. Now there's another flag.
There's a late flag. The center jumped, and they didn't call it. And then I don't know if they whistled from the backfield or what. But
we'll see what the flag is. It is going to be another false start against the Indians. I don't know who's moving, Keith. I didn't see anyone move.
Well, the center jumped early, but then they didn't call it, so I didn't figure it's part of the down. But
1st and 15 for the Indians, and now they're backed up to their 24-yard line. Now it's going to be another timeout for the Indians. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Oh, welcome back to Hanover, Kansas, where St. Paul's got their hands full here, folks, down 30-0 with 1:02 left to go in the first quarter. It has been all Hanover. St. Paul made Hanover earn their first drive. They methodically drove it down the field. Regardless if they earned it or not, they scored. They led 8-0. Then St. Paul promptly turned the ball over on the second play of the game at their own 25. Hanover drove it in. It's been Hanover ever since then. They've got a turnover on a kickoff. Now here's the Indians trying to get something going. Albertini's going to keep it around the left side. Cuts back to the middle. Up the middle he goes. He's going to have a nice 7-yard gain on first down. It'll be second down and 8. Having some light trouble here in Hanover. See another bank of lights now on that would be the northeast side of the field out. I think there's some out on the southwest side. 44 seconds left to go in the first. Indians trail 30-0. Second down and 7. Called 8 for the Indians. Ball up to the 31-yard line. In the pistol is Albertini. Two up-backs right in front of me is Dent and Carlson. He's just going to fall in big lead blockers. He's got some running room. Oh. And big up around the head. Tackled by Bruna. And a good hard pop on Albertini, but not until he has about 10 yards. Good for an Indian first down across the 40 down to the 37. The Indians lining Dent and Carlson up in front of Albertini at that up-back position, just going right at him. I like it.
Boy, that was a hook on the head around the neck of Albertini. That was close to the face mask.
Same set. Dent and Carlson in front of Albertini. Good snap. Albertini's going to keep it. Stays towards the middle of the football field. Drives forward for a good 4 or 5 yard gain on first down. Let's call it a gain of 4. And that's the end of the first quarter. End of the first quarter, Hanover 30, Indians 0. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Hanover, Kansas. After the first quarter, 30-0 Hanover leads. St. Paul with possession of the football, second down and 6 for the Indians at the Hanover 33-yard line. In the pistol is Albertini. He's going to keep it around the right side. Tries to cut back. Nowhere to go for him. Back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a little bit of a loss. It's going to be third down and 6. Call it 7 for the Indians here to start this second quarter.
Well, the Wildcats have the luxury right now of spying on Albertini, and wherever he's going, that's where they're going to go. And St. Paul just not getting it done on the pitch out or the handoffs because Albertini's creating his own yards, really.
Third down and 7 for the Indians. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line of Hanover. I formation for the Indians. Carlson at fullback, Kennedy at tailback. Going to pitch it to Kennedy around the right side, trying to get to the outside. Cuts back. He's got a first down. Good hard run by Keaton Kennedy as the St. Paul Coach Watrick sees that Hanover is starting to really bunch everybody towards the middle and some room around the outside, and Kennedy gets enough for a first down to the Hanover 25-yard line, just inside the 25 at the 24. The Indians are going to have to mix it up, Keith.
Yeah, it'd be big to get this one punched in for a touchdown. For
Carlson at fullback, Kennedy at tailback, Albertini up under center. Carlson off the right side, going hard. Ball's loose. And I don't know sure who got it. I think Hanover may have got on it again. Easton Dent was right there with him. I just haven't seen a signal yet, and it is Hanover football. Third turnover of the game by the Indians. Carlson had some yardage off the right side, running hard. Ball knocked out. It's going to be first and 10 for Hanover at their own 20-yard line. He knew on these conditions that the Indians were going to have to take care of the football and not have any penalties, and they've turned the football over twice on the ground and then once on a kickoff. Hanover's football. Bruna's up behind Stollenbaumer. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Bruna. He's driving his. Nope, Stollenbaumer's going to keep it. It's got a lot of room. There he goes. Touchdown, Hanover. I don't see any flags. And another touchdown for Hanover on the first play as he ran the option around the left-hand side. And no Indian to be found out there. And oh, there is a penalty flag. I don't see it yet, Keith. I was wondering why nobody was walking towards the end zone. I still don't see it. And it's going to be a holding in the back against Hanover. Do you see the flag, Keith?
No, I don't.
I don't even see it.
A couple of, no, he's not on the field, but one of the Hanover kids has the yellow shoes on, and about every other play I see
I still don't even see where they're going to mark it off from. I don't know if they're marking it off now or walking back to the flag. They must have been flag must have been thrown about the 30-yard line. I never did see the flag, so the Indians get a break. It's going to be first down and 9 from the Hanover 21. That flag had to be thrown about the 31-yard line. So big break for the Indians, as that was going to be another touchdown for Hanover. One receiver wide to the right. Stollenbaumer up under center. Bruner right behind him. Here comes the snap. Roll back to pass to Stollenbaumer. Looking. He's got a lot of time to go. Throw it deep. Haney got a man behind him and over his head. That pass was intended for Swartz. The 170-pound junior falls incomplete. 10:39 left to go in the second. It's going to be second down and 9 as Hanover took a shot with the wind. Haney kind of slowed up, let Swartz run on past him. You can't do that with this wind blowing that hard. All kinds of time for Stollenbaumer in the backfield to make that pass.
And that's been prevalent this year for St. Paul's secondary. Seems like they just let the receivers get away from him after about the first 20, 30 yards. If they throw short, St. Paul's been able to contain, but they throw long, St. Paul lets their guys go, and if that quarterback's accurate at all.
In the pistol is Stollenbaumer. Right and left is running backs. He's going to roll to his right. Looking across the middle. He's going to throw it deep again. He's got another man. And through his hands again, incomplete. That's twice in a row where the Indians has let somebody run right past him. They're 7 yards past any Indian secondary. That one went right through the running back's arms.
I don't understand that, Dan. It seems like it's just all year long St. Paul's been doing that. And, again, very, very fortunate on that. Maybe they're gambling, but I sure wouldn't.
Third down and 9, a big play for the Indians trying to hold Hanover, really going for the throat here with 2 long passes in a row. Third and 9 for Hanover from their own 21-yard line. Wouldn't be surprised if they, no matter what happens, if they wouldn't go for it anyway. It's 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stollenbaumer going to run the option to the right, pitches it late.
Hold on.
Bruner, and he's going to have a first down and more as Stollenbaumer pitched it late. As Keith around the right side looked to be a hold on the defensive end, but of course no call made, so it'll be first and 10 for Hanover up to the 34-yard line. Indians had a chance there on 3rd and 9, couldn't get the stop. Now it's first and 10 for Hanover from their own 34.
And Bruno with 57 yards so far in the game, and actually Stollenbaumer's got 75 yards and would have had well over 100 had that play not been called back.
First and 10 for Hanover. Opener center Stollenbaumer. Carter Bruner off the left side. Nope, blown dead. Boy, that was
a late one.
That was a late whistle. I've never seen a play go that far before they blew it dead because they had ran the play. 5-yard penalty against Hanover. False start. We'll take it. First and 15. Ball at their own 30. Indians need to keep their heads up here, Keith. Try to get a turnover or a stop at the very minimum here. Just 30-0. 9:53 left to go here in the second quarter. Thank everybody for joining us on the live stream, Keith.
St. Paul had 2 good drives. You know, they could very well be 30-16 right now. Very containable ball game, but stepping on their own feet.
1 receiver wide to the left. Stollenbaumer up in the center. Bruner behind him. He's going to roll back to pass. He pump fakes. Now he throws a screen. Out there is Kenny Haney. Can he get him down? And he does, but not until he gains about 7 yards. Did that ball come loose? Nope, they're going to give it to him. Ball up to the 39-yard line into Indian territory. It'll be second down and 3. So Hanover's got everything going. The pass, the run. I don't think The only 2 incomplete passes was on the long one, so Stollenbaumer's been very accurate on his passing so far here tonight when he needs to be.
That was Jacob Bruna out on that play on the reception, on that short reception.
2nd down and 3. Into Indian territory is Hanover. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. In the pistol is Stollenbaumer. Set to his right is Bruna. He's going to roll back to pass again. Shovel pass inside, wide open, number 34. Nobody even around him. Peter down to the 5. He's going to be chopped down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Keaton Kennedy brings him down and saves a touchdown for Hanover, but Peter on that shovel pass, so Hanover's got every facet of the game working, and Indians has just been the turnover on offense. Keeps giving Hanover back the football. 1st and goal for Hanover at the Indian 9-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Hanover is just marching down the field. St. Paul's defense has got to figure something out here. They're just it seems like Hanover switches things up by the time St. Paul can get him stopped.
1st and goal, 1 to the right, 1 to the left. In the pistol, Stollenbaumer. Set to his right is Carter Bruner. Here's the snap, back to pass. Looking across the middle, now to his right. Scrambles out to his right now. Now he's just going to, nope, he's going to throw it late, and that's it. Is it a catch? It is a catch for a touchdown by Peter. That looked like that hit the ground.
And it looked like he was past the line of scrimmage when he tossed it, too.
And it's going to be a touchdown for Hanover. So with 8:14 left to go here in the 2nd quarter, it is now 36-0. So this game's rapidly going the wrong way for the Indians here, pinning the extra point. Carter Bruner stands about his 8-yard line. Stollenbaumer under center. Here comes the snap. Nope, he's going to roll out and throw across the middle. Wide open. Extra point is good.
Colin Juneman on that catch.
Colin Juneman on the extra point catch. And now the score is 38-0. Still 8:14 left to go in the first half. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You listen to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Welcome back to Hanover, Kansas. 8:14 left to go before halftime. 38-0. Indians trail Hanover. It's been all Hanover. 3 turnovers on the Indians in the first half. 2 in the first quarter, 1 here in this. Of the Indians' first 4 possessions, 2 of them has ended in turnovers. 1 of them, they didn't even get to start their possession because on a Hanover kickoff, a high kick into the wind just fell to the turf, and Hanover jumped on it like an onside kick. So the Indians need to get something going quickly here. This game's going to be over here at halftime. Here's a kickoff. Albertini's it's going to be returnable. Takes it at his 5, up to the 10, up to the 15. Looks for some room, and he's going to be cut down about the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 20-yard line. Number 88 is a defensive end. He's 250-pound junior for Hanover. Number 22 is a nose guard. He's a 230-pound senior. And I can't catch the number of the opposite defensive end, but he's just about as Peter, who is huge in his own right. 1st and 10 for the Indians. Split back formation this time. Albertini up under center. Albertini's going to keep it off the left side. Cuts back to the middle. He's going to gain about 3 yards across the 20 up to the 22.
Looks like a late flag on the play after the play's over.
On the far side of the football field, I see a personal foul, face mask against Hanover. That's why it was so late. It was on the tackle. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Hanover. Should be up to the 37-yard line. So St. Paul needs to take advantage of this personal foul. Needs to get something going here on offense. They've had a couple drives going, but just couldn't finish them.
Well, now Hanover's up to 30 yards in penalties with that personal foul. So
15-yard penalty. against Hanover. 1st and 10 for the Indians, still in their own territory, but now at the 39. I formation for the Indians. He's going to roll out the pass as Albertini. Looking. Now he tries to get around the outside of the right, and he's going to lose about 3 yards. Nobody open. Carlson and Haney. Another flag. Is that what I heard?
I heard that too, but I don't see it out there.
It is impossible to see a flag. Anyway,
I don't
just
think
a
there
loss.
was.
I don't think there was a flag. It's just 2nd down and 11, a loss of about a yard. So that'll go down as a sack against Albertini. Haney and Carlson was out on a pass route, but nowhere to go. It's a good pass defense by Hanover.
Just nothing developed at all in that play for St. Paul.
I formation. Carlson at fullback. Kennedy at tailback. Albertini up under center. Here comes the snap. Hand off to Kennedy off the left side. He breaks a tackle. He's going to end up gaining. Good job by Kennedy keeping his leg drive because he was hit 2 yards deep in the backfield. He makes it positive yards, but it's just going to be a short gain. It's going to be a big 3rd down and 9. Now the ball at the 39 of Hanover.
It looked like he was going to be tackled for about a yard or two lost. Looked like the line collapsed, and somehow Kennedy spun out of it and was able to get down the field a little bit, pick up about a yard or two on the play.
3rd down and 9 for the Indians. Ball at the Hanover 39. 6:44 left to go. This is, I don't want to call it a must first down, but it is. Set in front of Albertini and the pistol is Easton, Dent, and Carlson. And he's going to keep it down to the 35, so it'll be a bring down a big 4th down and 4 for the Indians. Just short of the 35, not the best spot in the world. It's going to be 4th and call it 4, a long 4. See what Coach Watrick and the Indians elect to do here on 4th and 4. The ball only at the 36-yard line of Hanover. Do not want to get them the football with this kind of position, but it appears as though the Indians are going to go for it here. In the pistol again is Albertini. Set to his right is Dent. To his left is Carlson. 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. Back to pass is Albertini. Looks. Now he's going to try to scramble. Nowhere to go. And he is sacked back at the 40-yard line. More lights go out here at Hanover. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hanover. Still in their own territory. Ball at the 39. Well, Keith, this has turned out to going to be a long drive home here if something don't change real quick.
Really going to be a quick drive. I mean,
I wish it was quick.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for Hanover. Ball now spotted at their own 38. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in the 2nd quarter. 38-0. Hanover leads and with possession of the football. Bruna set behind Stollenbaumer. 1 receiver wide to the right. Here comes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Bruna. He runs hard for a good 6-7 yard gain on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for Hanover.
Bruna up to 64 yards so far on carries.
Very few points scored on Hanover this year, and you can see why. The only real game they had all year long was against Axtell, who's in their own district. What they look to rematch up against, could rematch up against next week, depending on how the games turn out. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left in the pistol. And it's going to be a quick pass out to this side, hit, and ball falls incomplete, harmlessly incomplete. So it'll end up being 3rd down and 3 for Hanover. Ball at 3rd down and 3.
That pass was out to Juniman, and it went right through his hands again, and just couldn't collect that in. And good as Hanover is, when they face Osborne or whoever they face at State or Axtell next week, they're going to need to collect those balls because it gets tougher from here on out. I mean,
the winner of this game will play the winner of Axtell and Waverly. Axtell and Waverly both 9-1 on the season. The only loss for Axtell is to Hanover. That was a shootout, like 70-something to 40-something or 30-something is what I'd seen. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. 3rd down and 3. Back to pass to Stollenbach. Shovel pass inside to Peter Bruna. He's going to be wrapped up, but not until he gains a 1st down across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 5:04 left to go before halftime. 38-0. Hanover leads. 1st and 10. Ball at the Indian 29.
Just a little, that shovel pass really had St. Paul back on their heels. They were looking for something longer and able to read the defense really well. And just Peters turned around and just passed it right up to him. I believe it was Peters. It might have been Stollenbaumer on the play.
1 receiver wide to the right, 1 to the left.
Bruna.
Up under center is Stollenbaumer. Carter Bruner is behind him at tailback. He's going to roll out. Stallbomber's going to keep it out to his right. Cuts back to the middle. The Indians are there. Albertini has him around the legs, and they finally blow it dead. See where they spot this ball at. They're giving him a pretty dead-gum good spot.
Oh, wow, yeah, they did.
Wow, that's just why Albertini hit him. That's not where they blew it dead at. Albertini drove him backwards from there. So a gratuitous spot for Hanover. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Good defense by Albertini. Come up and make that hit on Stallbomber.
And wise of Albertini not to take him down after the whistle blown. Got him back in the backfield. And
same set. One to the right, one to the left. Stallbomber up under center. Carter Bruner behind him. Here's a snap. Back to pass to Stallbomber. Looked across the middle. Wide open. Pulled in. Touchdown. Kennedy lets the tight end here, his receiver, run right past him. Right across the middle. Touchdown. Hanover. Hartford. 44-0. Pending the extra point with 3:56 left to go here before halftime.
30-yard pass play ends up in a touchdown for Hanover.
They're just splitting one receiver to the right and the left. The Indians have a person on them, but they had 2 opportunities before that where they threw deep and just overthrew their receiver. One receiver wide to the right. Bruno behind Stallbomber, pinning the extra point. It is Bruna right off the left side, leaning towards the end zone. Extra point is good. 46-0, 3:56 left to go before halftime here. Stick around for our Labette Health halftime show. And if things don't change here real quick, it'll be our
post-game show.
KW Trucking post-game show all wrapped up in one. Thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. It's been a great benefit for everybody extended at home, extended family, able to watch grandkids, cousins, friends, alumni, whoever, or not alumni watching. Kids play this year. We'll have it during basketball too, just like that. Keith, snow's flying, so it is basketball ready to start Monday. The high school is able to start basketball. I know the Indian football would love to extend the season like last year, but right now that does not appear like that's going to be an opportunity for them unless something changes really quick. This live stream, when you get into Acacia, it costs, so we want to thank Farmers Bank for paying so we can keep bringing the live stream for the ball games.
Well, it's very fortunate for a town the size of St. Paul that, especially you, Dan, and Mike, Seth Bourne, I know, helped out too, to travel to all these games and bring the game home to everybody. We sure appreciate that. Doggone, it'd been nice if St. Paul had a little better run this year, but we had a pretty good run so far, and I'm not cashing in yet, but yeah, we need to acknowledge those people because it's been pretty good for St. Paul this year.
Back deep is Albertini. I tell you what, the next time we play Hanover, they need to come to St. Paul and make that long drive. High kick, fair catch taken by Keaton Kennedy this time so they're definitely kicking away from Albertini at the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians at 20, and if they do not score on this position, it's going to be the ball game at halftime. They got 3 minutes and 56 seconds to try to get a score here to extend this ball game and try to get back into this ball game. They trail 46-0. I want to wish all the luck to all the home teams around or in our area at home. Colgan, I know, is playing at home tonight versus Jackson Heights. Humboldt's playing at Rossville. Humboldt's 10-0 at Rossville, 8-2. Galena is playing at Marysville. Galena's 10-0 at Marysville, 8-2. And Parsons playing at home. So first time in a long time Parsons had a home game in the playoffs. So we wish everybody luck. Albertini keeps the football off the right side, running hard. He's going to gain about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Indians from the 25, from their own 25-yard line, 26. From about the 26-yard line, we're going to call it 2nd down and 5 from the Indians' 26. 3:31 left to go in the first half. 46-0. Hanover leads big over the Indians. Keith, I want to thank you for making the trip up here and filling in for Mike. Thanks, Seth, last week as Keith was on the announcing stand, so Seth was nice enough to fill in. Albertini's going to keep it around the right side for the Indians. Got a little bit of running room. Good for a first down as he is ridden out of bounds, but not until he is across the 35. Good for the Indian first down. 1st and 10 for the Indians at their own 35-yard line.
That brings him up to 88 yards rushing on the game so far.
What a year put together by Adam Albertini.
Yes, it's going to be lightning next year. I think St. Paul will come back, and they're going to lose three valuable seniors, but they're going to be stacked up with those junior class, and then a couple freshmen coming in, and they've got some sophomores, and they'll look good next year.
Albertini in the pistol. To his right is Kennedy. To his left is Colin Carlson, and Albertini's going to be knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. That looked like he was looking for something else that wasn't there, so he just had to pull it down and run it. It's going to be a loss of 2, second down and 12 at his own 33-yard line. Yeah, we want to give a lot of kudos to the seniors here, Keith, in case we don't get another chance. Keaton Kennedy, Kenny Haney, and Colin Carlson. They're going to be hard slots to fill.
Yeah, Colin Carlson especially. He's just a hard-hitting defensive back.
He has played hard every time he's ever stepped on the football field. Albertini's going to keep it, cuts back to the middle, hit up high again. He's going to have no gain on the play, or very little gain. He's going to lose a yard on the gain. It's going to be third down and 13 from their own 31-yard line. 2:16 left to go in the first half. Hanover leads 46-0. Indians have not, I don't know that we've even thrown a pass yet.
They thrown one pass and went incomplete. And that's Albertini's 20th run of the game so far, and it's just in the first half.
2 to the right, 2 to the left, 4 down linemen for Hanover. So Albertini's got to get rid of this quick. He rolls to his right, throws it out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw on the outside is going to gain about 6, 7, 8 yards. It's going to bring up a big 4th down and 5 as that pass was complete to number 60, Chandler Bradshaw. Yeah, the Indians are going to get most of their line of scrimmage back in Albertini, but they lose Kennedy and Carlson in the backfield. Easton Dent most likely will go back into the backfield. He's shown that some this year, but they really need to find another tailback, or Coach Watcher's going to have to be awful creative. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left on a big 4th down and 6 for the Indians. If they want to extend this game, they got to make this 4th down. Albertini's going to scramble to the left. He throws it late to Haney. Haney's trying to find some room, and he's going to be short of the first down. So Hanover's going to take over on downs as Haney ends up about a yard short with a minute left here to go before halftime. 46-0. Hanover leads with 1 minute left to go before half.
St. Paul has one timeout left if I've got this counted right, so they're not going to be able to do much to stop this game.
It's just Indians made Hanover earn their first drive. Hanover scored and led 8-0, but they really made them methodically drive down the field. But the Indians with turnovers on their first possession of the game, the second play of the game, and then turnover again on a kickoff has just given Hanover all the momentum in the world, and you have no rooms for mistakes against this very good Hanover team. Bruna off the right-hand side, and it's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. So with 56 seconds left to go, no timeouts called by the Indians. So this is going to be a long drive, a quick first half, and a long drive home for the Indians. A good season. Want to give the kids all the credit in the world. Played their hearts out. You know they'll get in and work hard over the summer and be back next year and try to be better than ever. And now it's going to be a knee by Hanover. Hanover, very, very, very good football team, Keith. By far the best we've seen.
They've just tradition up here. The tradition is just stacked tall, as good as St. Paul and those areas down in there too. So
St. Paul had their run back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and now Hanover has their run with back-to-back state championships and an easy victory over St. Paul, and they win this ball game 46-0 as we wind down into halftime. We're going to take a short 1-minute break. When we come back from that 1-minute break, we'll have our Labette Health halftime show and our KW Trucking postgame show. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul football on Hot 105. Well, thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. St. Paul falls to Hanover 46-0. We'll see you guys when we get back home. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks Joe and Josh Smith if you see him for the live stream.